I love good skin. To me, that's the most important part. So the one thing that I want you to take away with skin is you need to know what you want to look like. There are different types of finishes when it comes to foundation. There's a matte finish, more of a luminous finish. There's a dewy finish that gives you like that natural, I like to call it the J-Lo glow, because everybody knows the J-Lo glow, right? And so it just depends on what you like.
Do you do different looks for yourself depending on where you go?
Most times I like a matte foundation kind of lasts longer, so it depends. If I have a long day where I'm going to be out, I have a drier skin type, but you can switch it up. There are days, especially if I'm going, let's say I'm going to a concert or I'm going on vacation, I'm doing something light, I will change to more dewy look because, you know, it's more light, it's more airy, and I don't need the coverage like I would. So it can switch up sometimes. Something that's very important is that you need to match to your body and not your face. It's not a bad trick, but when you do that match, you're not just trying to see if it disappears into your cheek. You're also trying to see if it disappears here and into your body. Today, we're going to use the Makeup by Maria foundation. I really like this foundation because it has a luminous finish. And so what we're going to do is show you the way to get a buildable, flawless finish. Some people are brush girls and some people are sponge girls. Personally, I'm a sponge girl, but they both play an intricate part, especially if you have the time. But to me, this is simple. This is my sponge, the MUA sponge, and I designed it especially for women on the go. It has a beveled end that helps you get into those nooks and crannies and to get the blend. So that's what I'm going to show you today, but there's nothing wrong if you're a brush girl. One thing a lot of women don't realize is that you should wet your sponge. If your sponge does not expand when it gets wet, it's probably not a good sponge. So your sponge should be nice and bouncy when you use it. So here, I'm going to show you how to pick it up. How you pick it up is how it's going to lay down. Did you pick that up?
You better lay it down.
How you pick it up is how you're going to lay it down. See, you all, if you pick it up, I would suggest that you pick it up smooth so it can be on your sponge smooth. And that's a little much, so let's look at the difference, because this is what you're doing home. This is not necessarily wrong, but if you were to look, then it has like a lot of gather there. The bubble, where you can see like where the foundation overlaps. So I would just take a little bit off because you may use all of that, but foundation, you can build in layers. We picked up our foundation, and so now it's gonna be super simple. So what a lot of women do is they go all over the face. If you target and stay in one area at a time, and it doesn't have to be tiny areas, it could be a complete area, but then they move all over, so that's how you get splotchy, uneven coverage. If you actually slow down and put your foundation on properly, it will actually take you less time. If you have the right tools, it takes the work away from you. So look, I'm here, I got my whole bottom area, then I'm going up, and then you're looking for evenness. You're making sure that everything is covered, and you just pat, pat, pat. You don't want to put too much pressure. You see, I'm pushing down. You don't want to put too much pressure because it's going to make splotches. You just want a light. Yes, that's perfect. At home, don't be afraid to pick up your mirror. I feel like a lot of women, they're stuck here. No, pick up your mirror, move around. Bathroom lighting is the worst. So if you can move around your house and do your foundation in natural light, that's always going to be the best. So if you can move around your house, do it. Once you start to press, you see nothing picking up or laying down, that looks really, really good. Then you can move on to the next part. Look, you see how smooth that is?
Did you get some more foundation?
I got a little bit more, but you had more in your sponge than I did.
I took some of it off.
Yeah, but I don't want you to do it just to do it. I want you to do it with intention. If there's foundation still coming off and you still getting the coverage, you don't need more. But if you're pressing it and you don't see anything happening, that's when you need more.
I do see a little bit.
Okay. And if you feel like it's not coming off and you need a little bit more,
it's
then
not
okay,
as much
go
as
for
this,
it.
but I definitely see it.
So then you can pick up more. But the important takeaway is don't just do it to do it. Do it with intention. Like you need to stop. Like, oh, okay, I need more because, not just because I said it, because you see it.
Yeah, and I think that's how at home we start to get too much on our face.
I agree. Or not enough. And here's the important tip. You ready for it? You can't overblend. We all want to make sure we have blended makeup, but you can't overblend. Think about a sunrise and a sunset. That's blending. It should just seamlessly go up or down. This is another tip. I need you to take this in. Never swipe with a fox. We don't swipe or no swipe. This wipes away. You want to always press and build.
What part of the sponge did you tell me to use for my forehead?
Just tilt it. Just turn. So don't be afraid to move your body around. And don't get on top of your eyebrows. That's gonna make you have more work for yourself later.
Okay.
Look, I'm lifting that arm up because I'm trying to get my forehead and I'm going around my eyebrows, so don't be afraid to move your body, because sometimes we start like this and we feel like we have to do this everywhere. No, use your tool how it works for you. It's the smallest things that make a huge difference. If I needed more foundation right here, but this is such a small area, I don't need to necessarily pick up more. I'm going to use the access because now I've worked everything out of my sponge. So now I'm just taking the leftover and blending it slightly just up there. Just so when especially if I'm not wearing eyeshadow, if I'm not doing a lot right there, then it's already covered. What do you think?
I'm happy.
Okay, so now let's do the other side.
Okay.
I'm gonna press. There's gonna be times where you have too much foundation. So if you do have too much foundation on your sponge, it is sometimes okay to go ahead and like, ooh, I need to get some of that out of my sponge and put it somewhere else and go back to that. Because remember I told you don't want to do that. But realistically, I picked up too much. I might put some right here and I'm coming right back to it. You gotta get to know your foundation. If you have a foundation that dries really fast, then you kind of can't wait to blend it. So for my beauties who have scarring, a lot of women think that they have to have full coverage or they have to pile on the makeup just because they have scarring, and that's just not true. For instance, I have more scarring here, but I like let's say I want a light coverage today. I want a little medium coverage, but I have more scarring here. That just means that only in that area I'm gonna put another layer. But if this was a day to where I wanted a fuller foundation, then I can put a layer everywhere. But my takeaway is you don't always have to put more foundation all over your face. You can put it where you need it. If I like how everything else looks and I just want to cover up more there's no need to put makeup everywhere else. I usually use the rule 1, 2, 3. 1 layer is just a regular medium. 2 layers, you're getting more to full. 3 is like full cover. So if you want more, 1, 2, 3. All right, how do you feel about your coverage?
I feel good. I definitely feel like it's giving me a dewy look.
Okay, so something you want to look for. You want to make sure you don't have a harsh like stop right here. And sometimes I even hit my ears. And I don't cover up my whole neck, but I will bring it down. And I'm not picking up anymore. Now, if you have scarring and marks here, like a lot of them have hormonal breakouts, you can go ahead and bring your foundation down. But otherwise, I'm taking the excess, just what's left over on my sponge already, and bringing it down. And this looks beautiful. And if you did want more coverage, all you have to do is to repeat the exact same steps, a second layer, and you'll get a fuller coverage. So literally your preference and what you have to do today, okay?